Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. US lawmakers are set to return to the House of Representatives later in a final bid to avoid a government shutdown.
The rules are not suspended and the bill is not passed.
On Thursday night, the House voted against a Donald Trump-backed funding measure which needed a two-thirds majority to pass. Congress had come to a cross-party agreement previously, but Mr. Trump and billionaire Elon Musk pressured Republicans to reject the deal and create a new one. Many fear the dispute could lead to a government shutdown before the holidays, leading to closures and limits on services starting on Saturday.
For the American people who are wondering where their next Social Security check is going to come from, whether or not their kid's going to get a cancer treatment, whether or not, they can travel because the FAA, people forget all the ways the government operates. And so that is the real harm that Republicans are doing with the Republican shutdown.
To proceed with seabed search operations to locate the wreckage of flight MH370.
The Malaysian government says it has agreed in principle to resume the search for a passenger jet that vanished 10 years ago in one of aviation's greatest mysteries. Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 disappeared in March 2014 while on its way to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur with 239 people on board. Efforts to locate the wreckage of the Boeing 777 have faltered over the years, and hundreds of families of those on board remain haunted by the tragedy. On Friday, Malaysia's Transport Minister Anthony Locke said the cabinet had approved in principle a $70 million deal with US-based marine exploration firm Ocean Infinity to find the aircraft. Under a no-find, no-fee arrangement, Ocean Infinity will get paid only when the wreckage is found. A teacher and a teenage student have been identified as the two victims killed in a school shooting in Wisconsin. Erin West and 14-year-old Ruby Vergara were shot on Monday morning at a private Christian school in Madison. Investigators are still trying to establish why the suspect, Natalie Rupno, aged 15, opened fire on schoolmates and staff before turning the gun on herself. French President Emmanuel Macron has spoken to a booing crowd in Mayotte while touring the devastation caused by Cyclone Shutdown. I had nothing to do with the cyclone, Macron said. You can blame me, but it wasn't me. The territory, located north of Madagascar, is the poorest part of France. It suffers from extensive social and economic problems, including high rates of illegal immigration from neighbouring Comoros and poor quality housing and public services. Myanmar's rebel Arakan army has released footage said to show members from the ruling junta forces surrendering in the town of An in Rakhine State. People holding up and waving pieces of white cloth were seen running from the building as gunshots and explosions rang out. A caption accompanying the videos said the fighters were Myanmar junta soldiers from Western Regional Command HQ. The western state of Rakhine has seen a huge surge in violence in the past year, following the collapse of a ceasefire between the powerful rebel group called the Arakan Army and the military. Family members of inmates at a prison in a southern Mexico City have attempted to break into the facility where their relatives were being held. The unrest followed a riot inside the prison. The riot resulted in at least 2 deaths, but rumours circulated that the death toll was higher. The families of the inmates said they were not given more information, increasing their concerns and fears for their loved ones who had been detained.
Attention, humans.
And students at the Wilms High School in Germany have received an unusual visitor this week, an AI-operated humanoid robot called Capture, who led the students through a day of lectures and debate.
Speak in complete sentences.
The robotic teacher, developed by Hiboda Research, and the students discussed AI and its influence on different aspects of society. The students, in their late teens, appeared to enjoy their new experience with their metallic teacher. The AI teacher was one of the first real-life experiments of a robot-led lesson in Europe. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.